there! You clicked on this video because you're craving something bold, something that grabs you and doesn't let go, right? Well, you're in the perfect spot. This story delivers the drama, the tension, and the surprises you came for. No fluff, just the good stuff. If you're a regular here, you know the drill. Hit that like button and subscribe to keep the stories coming. New to the channel? Welcome. I hope you love this ride as much as I loved writing it. Let's dive in. The air in the kitchen felt heavy, charged with an unspoken tension that made my skin prickle. Ryan stood closer than he should have, his voice low and teasing as he leaned in, his breath brushing my ear. "Does your husband ever make you feel this scene?" he asked, his words carrying a weight that made my heart skip. I gripped the edge of the sink, the cool granite anchoring me as I tried to steady my racing thoughts. I turned slightly, meeting his gaze with a spark of defiance. "Does your wife know you're this good at pushing boundaries?" I shot back, a smirk tugging at my lips. His laugh was soft, almost dangerous, like he enjoyed the challenge. This wasn't just a conversation, it was a dance, one we both knew we shouldn't be dancing. The kind that made your pulse race because it was risky, because it was wrong, because it felt like a secret you could hold on to forever. My fingers tightened on the counter as the space between us seemed to shrink, the air thick with what wasn't being said. Ryan and I had known each other for years, part of the same tight-knit circle of friends that included my husband, Michael, and Ryan's wife, Claire. Lately, though, something had shifted. Stolen glances at dinner parties, lingering conversations when no one else was listening. It was subtle, but undeniable. Now, standing in Claire's kitchen while she was supposedly out running errands, the line we'd been towing felt dangerously close to being crossed. I stepped back, trying to reclaim some distance. But Ryan's hand brushed mine, light but intentional. "You're nervous," he said, his eyes searching mine. "But you're not leaving." I swallowed, my throat tight. He was right. I could have walked away, made an excuse, but I didn't. The thrill of it, the way his attention made me feel alive in a way I hadn't in years, kept me rooted. At home, Michael and I had settled into a comfortable rhythm, but comfort wasn't the same as fire. And right now Ryan was all fire. "You love that she doesn't know," he said, his voice dropping lower, daring me to deny it. Claire's name hit me like a jolt, a reminder of the friend who trusted me, who'd welcomed me into her home countless times. But the thought was fleeting, drowned out by the intensity of Ryan's gaze, the way he seemed to see parts of me I'd forgotten existed. Before I could respond, the front door clicked open. My heart lurched. Claire stood in the doorway, her arms crossed, her expression unreadable. The world seemed to tilt, time slowing as panic surged through me. I stepped away from Ryan, words tumbling out in a rush. "Claire, She held up a hand, silencing me. To my shock, she didn't look angry. Instead, she set her purse on the table with deliberate calm, her eyes flicking between me and Ryan. "Looks like you two are getting along," she said, her tone light, almost amused. She slipped off her coat, draping it over a chair, and sat down, crossing her legs like she was settling in for a show. My mind raced, searching for an explanation, but nothing came. Ryan, unfazed, leaned against the counter, a faint smile playing on his lips. "She's always been easy to talk to," he said, his voice carrying a hint of challenge as he glanced at Claire. Claire's smile widened, but there was something knowing in it, something that made my stomach twist. "I can see that," she replied. She reached into her purse, pulled out her phone, and dialed a number, her eyes never leaving mine. "Hey," she said into the phone, her voice bright. "It's happening." Just like we thought, the call was brief. She hung up, slipped the phone back into her purse, and stood. My pulse pounded in my ears, confusion mixing with dread. What was happening? Who had she called? Before I could ask, Claire stepped closer, her movements slow and deliberate. She stopped just in front of me, her gaze softening. "You don't need to look so worried," she said, her voice gentle but firm. "This isn't what you think." I opened my mouth to respond, but no words came. Claire reached out, her fingers brushing my arm, a gesture that was both comforting and disorienting. "Come with me," she said, nodding toward the living room. Ryan followed, his presence a steady hum behind us. I felt caught in a current, unsure where it was pulling me but unable to resist. In the living room, Claire guided me to the couch. Ryan sat beside me, close enough that I could feel the warmth of his arm against mine. Claire stood in front of us, her expression unreadable but not unkind. "We've been friends for a long time," she said, her voice steady. "And friends don't keep secrets. Not the important ones," my heart sank. Did she know about the moments Ryan and I had shared? The glances, the conversations, the almosts? But then she continued, her tone shifting to something almost conspiratorial. "Michael's been planning something for you," she said. "And we've been helping him." "Michael?" I echoed, my voice barely above a whisper. My husband's name felt out of place in this charged moment. Claire nodded, a smile breaking through. "He's been watching you, you know, noticing how you've been restless. He wanted to surprise you, to shake things up." She glanced at Ryan, who nodded slightly, as if they were in on something I hadn't yet grasped. Before I could process her words, the front door opened again. Footsteps approached, steady and familiar. My breath caught as Michael stepped into the room, his eyes locking onto mine with a warmth that made my chest ache. He looked different somehow, more present, more intentional than I'd seen him in years. "Hey," he said softly, crossing the room to stand beside Claire. "I hope we didn't scare you too much." "Scare me?" I managed, my voice trembling. "What's going on?" Michael knelt in front of me, taking my hands in his. "I've seen how you light up around Ryan," he said, his tone gentle but direct. "The way you laugh, the way you come alive. It made me realize I've been coasting, letting our life get too routine. I wanted to remind you, and myself, what it feels like to really connect." I stared at him, my mind struggling to catch up. "You planned this?" He nodded, a sheepish smile tugging at his lips. "With Claire and Ryan's help. They're our best friends, and they know us better than anyone. I thought maybe we could all explore something new together, not to cross lines, but to rediscover what makes us us." Claire stepped closer, her hand resting lightly on Michael's shoulder. "We've all been talking," she said, "about how life gets predictable, how we all crave something more sometimes. This was about trust, about being honest with each other." Ryan spoke up then, his voice calm but earnest. "We didn't want to hurt you. We wanted to wake you up, to wake all of us up." I looked between them, Michael, my steady anchor, Claire, my fierce, loyal friend, Ryan, the spark that had reignited something in me. The tension I'd felt earlier wasn't betrayal. It was anticipation, a carefully orchestrated plan to pull us out of our ruts and into something deeper. Michael squeezed my hands, his eyes searching mine. "I love you," he said, "and I want us to keep growing together. No secrets, no holding back." The room felt lighter now, the air no longer heavy with guilt, but alive with possibility. Claire sat beside me, her arm brushing mine in a gesture of solidarity. Ryan leaned back, watching us with a quiet smile. And Michael, my Michael, stayed close, his presence grounding me in a way that felt new and familiar all at once. We spent the rest of the evening talking, laughing, untangling the emotions that had led us here. It wasn't about crossing forbidden lines, but about rediscovering trust, vulnerability, and the courage to shake things up. Together, we'd found a way to spark something new, not just between me and Michael, but among all of us as friends who'd chosen honesty over routine. And that's the story. I hope it hit the mark for you. Did the twist catch you off guard? Was there a moment that really stuck with you? Maybe something you'd want to see explored more? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Your feedback helps me craft even better stories. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, hit that subscribe button, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.